Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Susan Poole, Chair of Benton Community Foundation Board. On behalf of the board, I welcome you today to the third annual BCF Philanthropic Achievement Awards. Today we come together to celebrate our community and the good people like you who fill life with so many reasons to be thankful. In the 5th century BC, playwright Ethicus coined the term philanthropy. Surely it had to have been a Greek coin. Philanthropy means love of humanity. Now the definition of philanthropy includes generosity in all forms, including giving of time, talent, and treasure to make a better life for other people. Today we pause our daily routines to recognize and appreciate individuals who have impacted, influenced, and improved the community we live in. Quite often, their generous acts, when combined with those of others, produced an even greater benefit for our region. This year, the selection committee received dozens of very strong nominations across the 7 award categories. They reviewed inspiring stories of businesses supporting fire evacuees, volunteers funding innovative approaches to homelessness, and new collaborations to emerging challenges. Unfortunately, not every nominee can receive an award, but I want to say congratulations to all of you who are nominated by your fellow community members for their continued dedication to serving Benton County and beyond. While the pandemic lingered, I reflected on the stories shared by nonprofit leaders and their ability to be able to meet their mission due to significant generosity of donors. How grateful these agencies were when facing unprecedented challenges, and for their givers, many of whom will never meet individual recipients. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you, and to give thanks continually, and because of all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude." The mission of Benton Community Foundation is to enhance our communities through philanthropy. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we wholeheartedly express our gratitude for the generosity demonstrated by our Philanthropic Achievement Award recipients.
Hello. My name is Chris Quacca, and as the President and CEO of the Benton Community Foundation, welcome to the Philanthropic Achievement Awards. Thank you for joining us in celebration of the inspiring individuals, groups, and businesses that help to make Benton County a truly remarkable place to live. Today, we'll celebrate those who give back, and before we do, I would like to take a moment to thank the sponsors of this year's event. 10D Tech, Horsepower Productions, Oregon State University Foundation, Samaritan Health Services, and Shoup Plemons Cook Wealth Management Group of Wells Fargo Advisors. Their generous support, along with that of our community sponsors, event captains, board of directors, and the inspiring stories of Benton County residents, have made this event possible and brought us together to celebrate those who give back. In a few moments, you'll learn who this year's award winners are. But before that, I want to take a few minutes to share some gratitude we receive from community members every day. A note we recently received from a scholarship awardee said, "Thank you so much for granting me this scholarship. Again, it means the world to me and my mother that we were able to cancel nearly all of my student loans this year, thanks to you." And many of this year's winners give their time and talents to help local nonprofits. A nonprofit partner who recently received funding wrote, "Your grant is helping local families who need food. As our costs increase, your support is essential to our success." And then, this is my personal favorite. We have a group of notes here from a local children's art program. And you can see they're quite colorful. The kids' notes are unique. But it was the note from the program director that really stood out. It said, "The children were so happy to be back this summer, and their parents were happy as well." Well, If you're a parent with young kids today, that note says it all. We are so grateful that we live in a region that cares about giving back and takes the time to share its gratitude with those who are doing so. The people you're about to meet have accomplished remarkable things in their lives. Today's event is one way to show how grateful we are for what they've done for local communities. We hope you enjoy today's celebration of some truly remarkable people whose impact is changing our future. Without further ado, here are this year's Philanthropic Achievement Award winners.
Corvallis residents since 1974, Ken and Paula Crane are philanthropic role models. Beyond the contributions they made to Benton County while working their day jobs, Paula as a high school teacher and Ken as an OSU professor, the Cranes have enhanced local organizations for decades through their board participation and volunteerism. The Cranes successfully led the campaign for the Jackson Street Youth Shelter to purchase the house they currently operate from. The Cranes have also played active roles in campaigns for Corvallis OSU Symphony Society, the Corvallis OSU Piano International, as well as OSU's Arts and Education Complex. Paula has served as a member of the committee charged with raising major gifts, while Ken, serving as treasurer on the building committee for Bet Om, was key in a new synagogue built in Corvallis, which he describes as an exhausting but rewarding experience. The Cranes' unique focus on relationship building and personalizing philanthropy makes any project they invest their time and talent into a success.
We enjoy getting out and being with people. We enjoy interacting with similarly minded people who are also focused on improving the community. So it just seems like a natural fit for us to participate without really having to justify it with a reason. And we happen to be in a situation where we have the time, we're both in fairly good health, knock on wood, and we have the financial stability that we don't have to worry about where the next meal is coming from, that we can support these causes.
Also, we can support people who don't know where their next meal is coming from, or whether they have a safe house, or whatever it might be, because we have these and we think it's important that other people do that. And we support things which we enjoy. And I think that's a big thing too. I mean, we love going to the symphony, we love going to the theater, you know, we love being in the library and we love reading. So making sure that these things for students, but as well as for an audience and other people, are available for them to use. It's important that our community continue to offer all of these things for everybody.
So we have a lot of friends in the community, a lot of relationships that we've forged over the years, mine through OSU and hers through a lot of other activities. And we were at first a little bit reluctant to be recognized for what we've done, but we were sort of convinced ourselves that it could be useful in raising additional funds, because we don't want to set ourselves out as an example, but you know, if people see that we're active in philanthropy, maybe it encourages them also to be active, and we think that's very important. You know, we're just plain folks who happen to be in a position to be able to do this, and there are a lot of other people in similar situations to ours that could step forward and be more generous with their time and with their resources.
When we got our phone call about this, we were very surprised. We had no idea that any of this was going on. So that gave us a wonderful feeling, but also a chance to think about, well, you know, what had we done that we deserve this? And so we'd like to thank all those people who said we actually did something that they think needs to be recognized. And I'm not sure we know who most of those are, but we've had a wonderful relationship with Corvallis and the chance to be part of a community. You know, our son was raised here, and so it goes back a long way, and we just appreciate all the different aspects of Corvallis that have allowed us to be a part of this community.
Safe Place is a program providing transitional housing for people experiencing homelessness. Volunteers and agency partners navigated local regulations around the use of microshelters to obtain appropriate permits and raise money for construction. They also worked with the homeless community to implement a program and worked with the surrounding neighborhood to communicate and address concerns. This group has been truly innovative, from housing design, management strategies, virtual fundraising, and creating intensive partnerships with other agencies. Currently, 26 people in microshelters at 4 different locations across Corvallis have a safe place to live, with support services including case management. Over 95% have remained sheltered and have not returned to homelessness. Many have found permanent housing. Had it not been for the thousands of hours of time put forth by the Safe Place Committee and volunteers, this simply would not have been possible. People are relieved to have access to their own safe, warm, dry place. Most have not had a locking door in years. Residents often cook for each other and share resources. They would not have any other way to be housed without this vital program.
When you're doing this kind of hard work, you look for beacons of hopefulness. You look for signals that someone gets it and that you're not alone in the work you're doing. And we have received so many of those messages from the community of Corvallis, from other faith organizations, and from our own colleagues and friends and family members. At the same time, it's been tough. And so every day, I am thinking about all of the volunteers, the steering committee members, the board of directors from Unity Shelter who we worked with to make this a possibility, all of the volunteers who've built microshelters. I think about how much work and how much good-heartedness they've put into this effort, and I wonder if they understand how valuable they are. I am so grateful to the Benton Community Foundation, to Chris, to Lisa, to the board of directors, to all the many donors who are a part of making that foundation such an important part of our community and the work of nonprofits. It is an incredible honor to receive this award, and I am so thrilled for the hopefulness and the boost of confidence and kudos that it will provide the folks who are working every day on this incredible work that Safe Place is a part of.
The Old Mill Center for Children and Families directly serves over 800 children and families each year, providing early education, prevention, intervention, and therapy to a diverse population of children and families, many of whom are unable to access services if they were required to pay. For 41 years, the Auction Committee has spearheaded the agency's most fruitful fundraising event, the annual auction. These funds allow Old Mill to continue to work in their outreach programs to deliver prevention services to children at risk for child abuse and neglect. Many students attend Old Mill's community preschool on scholarships made possible by auction funds. The Auction Committee is comprised of community members and staff who will contribute their time, passion, and energy to make Old Mill Center auction a success. The current auction represents 166 years of hard work, and many members have contributed hundreds of hours each. Over the last 7 auctions, the event has raised $1.7 million in virtual funding. In 2022, the Old Mill Center for Children and Families will celebrate its 42nd annual auction.
I love the part of the auction that involves not only the community, but the people, as I've said, from all walks of life, and they all come for one purpose, which is to help Old Mill Center progress. And it's so inspiring every time. If you get a donation, you feel like you've won the lottery, because whether it's small or big, you just feel like you've won it all, and then you go on to the next one, and then by word of mouth, they go, I know. You ought to go to this place and this place and this place, and it just continues on, and it makes it easier, and then you all come together for meetings and you say, guess what I got? Guess what I got? And it's a catalyst for each other to be inspired to raise more money and help Old Mill Center be more successful.
We've had the energy and the focus and the dedication of people to stay with it, and we have the support of the community. I mean, the community is just amazing, and that's what I think that's what I'm really most proud of, is that we're still doing it, but it's not what we're doing, it's what's being supported and the people that are supporting it.
I would like to say thank you so much to the Benton Community Foundation. When you do things to help institutions or people or whatever, you do it because that's what your heart tells you to do. But it also feels very good to be recognized for it, and so I really appreciate this honor.
Executive Director of the Corvallis Public Schools Foundation, Leif Gifford, demonstrates an outstanding commitment to bettering students' lives. Leif fosters strong relationships with the Foundation's board members, as well as Corvallis School District leadership and staff, working to align goals, provide flexible support, and meet students' most pressing needs. This includes mental health support for students experiencing poverty and homelessness, and a variety of learning enrichment and academic programs. One of the most recent and ambitious projects Leif and the Foundation have undertaken was pivoting during the COVID-19 pandemic to raise funds to support students' basic needs. This included food and hygiene items delivered to families' doorsteps and emergency financial assistance. This shift to focus on care and connection allowed Corvallis School District staff to foster and maintain meaningful relationships with students and families, ensuring that they felt seen and heard by the district. This effort extended throughout last summer and into the current school year, raising over $100,000. This helped ensure families had food on the table and a roof over their heads. The funds raised allowed the district to provide support to over 1,200 individuals, representing approximately 300 district families. This work was possible thanks to Leif's vision and commitment to serving the most vulnerable students in the district. Leif's efforts have greatly increased the visibility of the Corvallis Public Schools Foundation in the Corvallis community.
So in March 2020, we were presented with an incredible challenge, which was to support students in being at home during their education. And we quickly discovered that very basic needs were going to be central to their success: a sense of care, a sense of connection, Wi-Fi access, food in many cases, hygiene supplies, school supplies. All of those basic needs became front and center for us. And I'm really proud of my Board of Trustees for being so nimble and so flexible and so responsive to those needs, and to the donor community that really stepped up and said, we are incredibly concerned about kids right now, and we're going to keep them at the center and try to meet their needs as much as we can so that their education can be as uninterrupted as possible. I would like to thank the Benton Community Foundation for this incredible honor. I would like to share that honor with my Board of Trustees and with my staff team, without whom we could get nothing done. And I would like to especially appreciate the team of family outreach advocates at the school district who have worked tirelessly to meet the needs of students over the past year and a half. And really, without the work of that team, I don't know where kids would be today. I really appreciate the food that they get to them, the transportation needs they meet, the hygiene items, the care and connection that they convey to those students. It's incredibly powerful to have the opportunity to facilitate philanthropic gifts for that team. And so I would just like to commend the educators of this community for continuing to hang in there with kids and to our donors for being incredibly generous.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Alicia Ritter, board member at the Benton Community Foundation. It's truly an honor to take time together today to show our deep gratitude to the volunteers and professionals who partner together to multiply their efforts of giving back. Truly, these bonds make philanthropy throughout our region so very unique. In 2019, BCF began its partnership with local nonprofit, the Arts Center. Every year, the team at the Arts Center facilitates a call to local artists to submit a design that embodies the spirit of philanthropy for our annual event. This partnership is just one example of how BCF believes in the value of supporting our local arts and culture community. This year, we were privileged to work with local artist Jerry Bartholomew, who crafted each award for our 2021 recipients. Thank you, Jerry, for your beautiful work.
I heard about these awards, both the reason for the award and that they were looking for artists to create these awards from the Arts Center. Hester sent out a call to artists and encouraged us to apply for this. I had an idea in mind, and I actually had two ideas in mind, and I decided to do them both simultaneously. One was a complete failure, so it was a good thing that I tried them ahead of time. And as I worked on the piece that ultimately was selected, I think it was a better concept. The piece that I made this year, I chose a theme of a sheltering tree. And I did that because I think trees mean different things to different people, but I think to everyone they're kind of a sheltering image. We think of the tree of life, we think of the root systems, and we think of our ancestors, and we think of building a community. And I think a tree can mean all of those things. I've been a member of the Corvallis community for approximately 40 years now, and I've always felt it's a very giving community, and I'm proud to be part of that. And I think in many ways, trees represent that kind of giving. They give us, as I said, shelter, they give us the beautiful surroundings that we have around us. And I think all of us probably can remember a favorite tree from our childhood, one that we climbed, one that we swang from, or one that we just sat underneath and read a book. And so I hope that this piece will bring back some of those memories for the people who are receiving it. Being selected to do these awards really meant a lot to me. It's quite an honor. I feel that these are people who have been creative. I know that there's so many people out there in our community that are using their creativity in different ways than I do. And a lot of that is to help other people. And so if this is something small that I can do to honor their creativity and their giving, and then I'm very happy to do that.
Suresh Kulkarni was bullied in school and began his high school years determined to make a difference. Deeply affected by the Black Lives Matter movement during his junior year, Suresh created his first nonprofit as a high school student, called Only Being You, to support minority students. In his senior year at Corvallis High School, Suresh was selected as a 2021 Prudential Spirit of Community National Honoree for his outstanding volunteer service. Suresh was one of just 10 nationwide that were bestowed by Prudential and was the only student west of Colorado to be honored. In addition to this honor, Suresh has conducted interviews with minority politicians, professors, and interviewed several public figures, Suresh just began his freshman year at UCLA, studying psychobiology, which focuses on studying behavior through its underlying biological functions. As Suresh says, anything that helps even one person to have a space to be themselves and who they are, I think that's an accomplishment.
When I was bullied in middle school and elementary school, and also like the end of middle school as I was transitioning to high school, I would say that it definitely did have an emotional toll on me. And I personally did not have any people to talk to or any outlets to express myself. And whenever I see other kids who are going through the same things or even worse circumstances, I really feel for them. And it really makes my heart break because a lot of them just can't speak to anyone and they can't share their own stories without judgment or criticism. And going through these experiences really made me open my eyes to that and also really make me motivated to create this platform. First, I would like to say thank you to my parents, of course, for making me the person I am today, and hopefully I can go on to do greater things. I'd also like to express thanks to my counselor, Mrs. Garcia, as well as the Career Center head, Mrs. Corrigan in CHS, for nominating me for this award. They truly have been probably my biggest support systems in high school, and without them, this would not have been possible at all. I'd also like to express thanks to Mr. Boring, the principal from Corvallis High School, who is just an amazing person and cares so much for the students at Corvallis High School and is just an amazing leader in our community. Other than that, I would like to express thanks to all of the people who are part of the Benton County Community Foundation for giving me this opportunity to speak about my organization experiences and also for giving me this amazing honor. So thanks to all of you.
Citizens Bank was founded in Corvallis in 1957 with a mission to remain an independent, high-performing community bank that is owned, directed, and managed and operated by those who reside in the communities it serves. Citizens Bank has a long history of giving back to local communities. Its priorities include children, youth, and affordable housing. In March of last year, immediately after schools closed due to COVID-19, Citizens Bank President and CEO Gordon Zimmerman contacted the Superintendent of Schools, Ryan Noss, looking for a way to help during school closures. After discussing the community's current challenges, Citizens Bank provided a matching grant of $15,000 to help launch a COVID-19 relief fund, which raised in total over $500,000 for the community. Citizens Bank has made over 1,100 Paycheck Protection Program loans totaling over $132 million. These loans supported 15,000 jobs across the Willamette Valley. Citizens believes the success of the business is directly linked to the overall health of the region it serves, and it attracts employees who share this belief.
Our philosophy on community giving and giving back is based, again, going back to the foundation of the institution. Our goal is to always pay that forward. We like to lead from behind and leave the spotlight to other folks, and I think that's exactly what this award is all about. It's about, at its foundation, Citizens Bank is driven by our culture. A very important part of that culture is our tenets, and one of those tenets is teamwork. And today, I feel like this recognition is all about teamwork. It's the outcome of teamwork. I would say, one, I'm incredibly grateful, humbled to receive this award on behalf of the team at Citizens Bank. The award and the recognition really belongs with the citizens of Corvallis. What they gave and what they did to support the children in our community at that time of need, that's the real recognition. And I would simply say, thank you, Corvallis.
And now we're pleased to present today's final award. This award recognizes an exceptional individual or family whose philanthropic leadership has made a significant impact on our local communities. And so it is with gratitude and celebration that the Benton Community Foundation is honored to celebrate Rosa Lee and the late Peter Johnson as this year's recipients of the 2021 Board of Directors Award for Outstanding Philanthropic Achievement. We are truly grateful for the Johnsons, for their years of humble service and decades of tireless dedication to serve the local communities throughout Benton County and beyond.
Pete and Rosalie Johnson have generously supported a wide variety of local organizations while also volunteering their time for many years. Treasured members of our community, Pete passed away in June of 2020 at the age of 86, and Rosalie continues their legacy of serving and supporting the community they hold so dear.
Pete graduated from OSU in 1955 with a degree in chemical engineering and went on to a distinguished career where he revolutionized battery manufacturing equipment. He served on the advisory board of the OSU School of Chemical, Biological, and Environmental Engineering for years. He was passionate about helping OSU graduate engineers prepare to solve the problems of the 21st century. In addition, Pete served on the boards of the Benton County Historical Society and Horner Museum, helping to preserve Benton County's history and educate people about our area.
Rosalie has been active with Good Samaritan Regional Medical Center and its foundation, serving on its Women Investing in Samaritan Health Steering Committee and as a hospital volunteer. In 2005, the Gazette-Times noted that she had contributed over 5,000 hours to the hospital, a number that has grown greatly since then.
Pete and Rosalie were strong supporters of OSU, especially the College of Engineering. The Johnsons also made a significant impact on the Benton County Historical Society as lead donors in supporting the construction of the new Benton County Museum in Corvallis.
Their deep commitment to philanthropy has spanned decades. In the late 1990s, they gave the Greenbelt Land Trust a generous gift to support a farm near the hospital, supporting Greenbelt's mission of preserving natural spaces for wildlife, recreation, and education.
They were significantly involved with Ashbrook Independent School, supporting 3 science rooms, as well as making contributions for a robotics program, musical instruments, scholarships, and more. They also made gifts to the Children's Farm Home to provide horse stables, riding area, swimming pool, and office space.
At OSU, Johnson Hall was made possible by a lead gift from Pete and Rosalie, which leveraged private and state funds. The project never would have happened without them. In 2008, the Historical Society acquired OSU's Horner Collection. A gift from the Johnsons built a 13,000 square foot building to house these artifacts in a climate-controlled environment. The Peter and Rosalie Johnson Collections Center provides space for staff, volunteers, and OSU interns to process items that belong or are on loan to the museum.
In 2014, the couple galvanized support for the new Corvallis Museum for the Historical Society by issuing a challenge. If museum backers raised $1 million in new gifts in 1 year, the Johnsons would double it. The challenge was effective, and the museum met the goal before the deadline, then went on to surpass it.
In addition to the building that bears their name on campus, one of the biggest impacts the Johnsons have had on OSU was through the creation of a unique scholarship internship program for undergraduates, which, since its creation in 1998, has benefited 433 students with paid summer internships at Oregon companies or university research labs after students complete just 1 year of college.
Rosalie and the late Pete Johnson have always been quiet community supporters, not ones to seek the limelight. Deeply committed to giving back, Pete once said that their core philosophy is to share the fruits of your success with others.
Corvallis is a very beautiful, livable place, great place to raise a family, And my husband felt he got an excellent education at Oregon State, and he wanted to help in various ways. And he started with scholarships at OSU for engineering students. He was a chemical engineer, and then later developed into internships for students after their freshman year. And then as time went by, there were various organizations like Children's Farm Home that was expanding, and we felt that was a good group to help. And then there was the museum that Pete loved history. His mother used to bring her students clear from Triangle Lake, which is out toward the coast, on a bus and visit the Horner Museum when it was Oregon State. And so he always remembered and loved history, loved reading, and he also wanted to give to that one to see that it went forward and remained viable for all ages to come and enjoy for future generations. I think giving is very rewarding for a person that does enjoy giving and has the opportunity and the monetary ability to do the selecting of different organizations and helping them expand and just make everything better for them, for the community, for people to visit. It's just very rewarding all the way around. It's very humbling. After I initially said yes, I would like to, come and do this interview, I thought, Rosalie, you should have said no, because there's so many other people that have given much more than you and Pete have, and they're the ones that need the recognition. But thank you to the foundation for inviting me. I truly appreciate the honor, and I feel very pleased that you would feel that I was worthy.
Hello, I'm Julie Manning, the Vice Chair of the BCF Board. What an uplifting and inspirational celebration of philanthropy we've shared today. My sincere congratulations and thanks to each of the individuals and organizations recognized with this year's awards. And I echo the sentiments expressed by our board chair, Susan Poole, in recognizing the vital role gratitude plays in philanthropy. In my own role with Samaritan Health Services, I've been privileged to hear compelling stories of how gratitude for exemplary health care motivated a generous philanthropic gift. I'm sure many of you have experienced similar examples of gratitude as a powerful motivator for giving. In fact, throughout this long pandemic, among the true bright spots have been the countless acts of selfless giving from so many in our community. Local businesses, volunteers, students, and neighborhood groups have come together to donate and distribute food, volunteer at vaccination clinics, check in on their neighbors, and generally open their hearts to those in need. The Benton Community Foundation, BCF, has continued to mobilize its own helping spirit and serve as a catalyst and a steward for our philanthropic efforts in the region. Since its inception 68 years ago, the impact of this giving can be seen throughout our community, in programs supporting rural youth, arts and cultural activities, economic development, and access to affordable housing. Our sincere thanks to each of you whose support has helped BCF fulfill its mission since 1953. More information about the foundation and its work will be emailed to you following today's event. Please review it and consider joining us in this important work. Philanthropy is defined as a desire to promote the welfare of others. Today, we've seen wonderful examples of how the spirit of philanthropy is expressed in ways that benefit us all. I hope the individuals and organizations honored today leave you feeling grateful, inspired, and hopeful about the power of philanthropy to make our community and our world a better place. Thank you.